Hello and welcome to another edition of This Week in ITFC History, albeit a bit of a belated edition. My name is David Diamond. Together with my good friend and colleague, the Renegade Statman, we'll be looking back at some of the names, the games, the wins, the draws, and the losses, although perhaps not this week, from This Week in ITFC History. Stat, mate, it's been a while. It's been a while.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. Happy Christmas, Happy New Year, almost Happy Easter. Well, perhaps not quite.
We're back on the horse as such.
Back on the horse. Yeah, it has been a while. Yeah. You've been busy. You've been a bit like me. Had house renovations and stuff, haven't you?
Yeah. So I'm now in the fourth room that I think I've recorded the pod in this season. And also I got to say to the viewers and listeners that it's like 10 o'clock in the morning, which is way too early for me on a Sunday morning. So I'm still drinking my coffee, and I will wake up.
We had a funny moment because I queued Stat about, I don't know, half an hour ago. I said, Stat, you're going to be ready at 10. He said, just having breakfast. Well, obviously, knowing Stat, I said, full Irish. And he came, full Irish shreddies, which I thought was quite amusing.
And I do like shreddies, and if they want to sponsor the show, then they can. I'm always looking for an opportunity to generate income.
Likewise with Weetabix myself. Likewise with Weetabix, Stat. Yeah. So where are we kicking off today, literally?
Yeah, let's just kick off straight away. So it's the 2014-15 season. So we're not going that far back in time.
No.
And it was Valentine's Day, Saturday, 14th February 2015. Mick McCarthy was the town manager, and we were at Craven Cottage to face Kit Symons Fulham.
Kit Symons, it would have been. Yeah. Well, were you present at being Valentine's Day? Did you get dispensation to attend?
No, I think I was probably having another couple's massage somewhere, I think. So, you've got to keep the romance alive.
You certainly have, and I'm not sure I did that day because I know I was certainly there with my good friend Pat. All I remember about days at Fulham, it's either the weather is either horrific or it's played sometime in sometime in April and it's like blisteringly hot. And this was one of the horrific rainy days, a bit like yesterday, partially, and today, perhaps without quite so windy. Definitely, I say without quite so much wind, because those poor fellas would have been in trouble coming up the Thames on that barge as they did. It was like something like 200, wasn't there? Town fans?
About 200, 250 people on the boat to do the last leg from, I don't know, Putney to...
from the city or somewhere to Putney, wasn't it? Yeah.
Only grasping...
Maybe Tower Bridge to Putney, perhaps.
Well, you know a lot more about it. I'm trying to, I basically take all my knowledge from the boat race, so that's why I just thought Putney to...
I think it perhaps would have been Putney. Yeah, Putney to Mortlake's the boat race, of course, isn't it? But yeah, I do remember that. But no, that would have been definitely choppy doing that this weekend.
And 4,000 town fans turned up.
Always well supported at Fulham, and of course, putting it into context, that was 2014-15, the last great season, last decent season, really.
I miss Mick.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, going back to that boat, there was 250 fans turned up. We went up the river on the boat. There was 4,000 town fans there. I kind of hope that somebody at some point would have said, should have got a bigger boat in the style of Jaws.
Jaws. Yeah.
Yeah. So we just beaten Sheffield Wednesday 2-1 on the Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And like you say, I think at this point in the season we were, fourth.
Lofty fourth. I mean, this was obviously a couple of weeks post transfer deadline, and we had got in the combined might of Freddie Sears, who ultimately over that season turned out to be a great sign. I think he finished with 9 goals that season. And I think Richard Chaplow on loan, perhaps. I'm sure he'd come by then, and you can probably refresh me. There may have been 1 or 2 other loanees, but no one of any great significance. And how many times, not giving the game away, but how many times over recent seasons subsequent to this have we said, well, there we missed our chance, after obviously having gone top briefly as late as Boxing Day, very briefly.
Yeah, should we go through the teams?
Go for it.
I want to go through our team, and I want you to kind of highlight any of these players that you think might get into our current side.
Go on then.
So we got Bart in goal.
I'd say he probably would.
Quite a decent right back here. Luke Chambers at right back.
He'd never get in the current side. I can't believe. Nah, he won't get anywhere near the. Oh, hang on.
You'd like to think force Donacien out.
Yeah, he wouldn't play. Yeah, no, right back. He wouldn't get in the current side at right back. No, I'd. I'd put Donacien aside. But if everyone's fit, I'm sure he wouldn't usurp Vincent Young, would he? For sure.
No,
for sure.
The next guy's kind of fallen off my radar. I don't really know where he is at the moment. Tyrone Mings.
Yeah, I think we could probably accommodate him somewhere there.
Yeah. And back two of Smith and Berra.
Yeah, you got to say Berra. Oh, I'd like to have seen. No disrespect to Tommy Smith, great player, great servant, but yeah, Berra and Luke Wolfenden would be a nice, quite a nice central partnership now with the experienced Berra. That would be quite. Not saying Chambers is doing a similar job from an experience point of view, but yeah, Wolfenden and Berra would have been quite a nice partnership there.
We matched up with, unsurprisingly, Fulham's diamond in midfield. So we had Bishop, Skewes, Brew, and Tab.
Yeah, very workmanlike midfield other than Bishop. I mean, Bishop was just starting to come into his own that season, wasn't he? Yeah, that's the season he broke through, and unfortunately because of injuries hasn't kicked on since then. Although a brief cameo from him yesterday in the first sort of 5 minutes of his cameo, he dropped his shoulder and ghosted past a couple of players. You think hello, and then next on the ball, gets a ball, shifts out of his feet, and the keeper made a brilliant save from him from about 20 yards. And yeah, that's he's still at this level. I think he's still hopefully got it in his tank if he can just get some continuity. But yeah, that's when he was really starting to come to the fore then, wasn't he?
He's been around the side for a while now, so he must be about 34, 35 or whatever.
He's like 23, isn't he?
I know, he's so so young.
He's still going to be fresh, if he can, maintain any sort of, fitness and sort of longevity with his fitness. I mean, all the football he's missed, incredible.
Let's go through the Fulham 11.
Yeah.
There's a couple of names down here. I'm thinking I can't even remember who they were, let alone try and pronounce the name. So we got Bettinelli.
Yeah, I can't. What's his first? I can't remember. I can't remember his first name. Some Italian. I don't know. Antonio. Let's go for Antonio.
Richards.
Well, that's Jazz Richards, isn't it? I love that.
Oh, Jazz Richards. Yeah.
Jazz Richards. Swans. I think they perhaps got him in on from Swansea. I think.
Hutchinson.
Sean Hutchinson. I think. Yeah.
Bodero.
No, Christ knows. I had to look at this one. I don't even remember the player. It's Nikolai. Can't even remember him.
Staphylidis.
That I know he was a Costa, I think.
Costa Stafford, yeah. I could do with one now, actually, to wake me up. Scott Parker.
Scotty Parker. Yeah, the combative Scotty Parker, perhaps in the twilight of his playing career.
Where is he now?
Scotty Parker is there, but it's their coaching.
Yes, the last I heard, I thought he might have been there. Yeah. Christensen.
Yeah, it's the one from. I can't remember his surname. That's the one from Chelsea, isn't it? I think. Maybe not. Yeah.
Ryan Tunnicliffe, former town.
That's Tunners. Tunners. Who scored for somebody yesterday. Lovely left foot finish.
Oh. Kakan. How do you say this? Kakan Chilik.
I can't remember these players, but I know his name was Alex. There you go.
Let's go with Alex. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ross McCormack.
Yeah.
I think at that time he was probably worth about 20 million or stuff. He seemed to. I never really rated him, but he seemed to go with such high transfer fees.
Yeah.
And I always like players called Hugo. So Hugo Rodallega.
Yeah, Wigan, and it's quite a skillful player. I mean, on the face of it, that's a half decent Fulham side. I'm
a bit worried looking at the lineups. How we're going to get on.
First season they were down from the Prem. Possibly, don't know.
But let's not worry because we had Bart in goal, but if he picked up an injury, I was very pleased to say that Paddy Kenny was on the bench for us.
I saw that. Yeah, again, you just forget this. Yeah.
And Dylan Connolly was named as on the subs bench for the first time. Yeah. He went to Wimbledon, and they've since loaned him to Bradford, I think.
Yeah. I think
another one of mixed punts that you kind of hope was going to come off, but
another one of mixed Irish we've got the next great thing coming out of Ireland, and a year, 6 months later, never got anywhere near the first team, and he's loaned out back to Ireland or somewhere, or shipped back.
Yeah, there's not a tunnel there might be a bridge at some point, but yeah, definitely shipped that. But I wouldn't want to be going across the RSC on B&I ferries not this weekend.
Not today, Stat. No.
So let's get straight into the game. It's only 5 minutes. Corner from Tabby, or as I put down here, number 18. I got a bit bored with my notes. and Murphy directs his header to the bottom right of the goal. And I put looked like he took a whack in the face, but he did take a whack in the face. He kind of did that celebration where straight away he's like, "Hang on, something's not
hang on a minute. Oh yeah, yeah, it was one of them. Yeah.
He so he had to go off. Came on with no number on the back of his shirt. Now I can't remember. Did he then come out in the second half with a number on the back of his shirt?
Oh, Stat, come on! I don't.
When you were there, you must remember.
I'm sorry, it's one of these little details I just haven't picked up on. I'm afraid. I know for a time after that he played in the Mask, didn't he?
He did.
Which incidentally, left back did yesterday. A full-on white one.
Yeah.
Very Phantom of the Opera, Josh Earl, yesterday.
And just like Daryl Murphy, he didn't score when he was wearing a mask. I think whenever we have a player with a mask on, we're struggling.
That is a great stat. That's a great stat. He didn't score while he wore his mask that season. How many would he have ended up with?
400.
That's a brave shout. It's a brave shout.
I'm going to say 99%. 99%, I'm certain. I know it's early in the morning, but 99% he didn't score with his mask.
I'm sure thinking about that season, he must have had that mask for about at least 4 or 5 games, maybe. I don't know, maybe even more than that. I can't remember, but I certainly remember him playing in it.
Well, we might find out later as we go on in the season. Fulham had a chance. Again, it was a bit late the other night, so they're number 11, who I'm guessing, whoever number 11 was in the squad days, he had his effort.
I reckon that was Hugo Rodallega, actually.
Yeah, not Alex.
Categorically.
Yeah.
Oh, could have been Cat. Could have been old Cat.
Then Taneva, how'd you say that?
Kakanikolic.
I like that. Kakanikolic. Go with that.
Kakanikolic. Yeah.
Tannen had a chance in the first half. Murphy's he's strong. You know what he was like. And I used to love the way when he had the ball and he was like, "You're not going to boss me about." And straight down the right, and his cross finally falls to Bishop, and he should have done better in my mind. He's 7 yards out and he puts it straight at the keeper.
Yeah.
But then just before half time, Skews breaks through the middle. Lovely run. He's going through there. We kind of, he should still be starting in my opinion. I think he, these kind of runs shows that he's got what we need in midfield.
That's five seasons ago, but yeah, carry on. Yeah.
How old is he now? Excuse, he can't be but 23, 24 or whatever.
He's a Bishop in reverse.
He is, yeah. So he breaks through the middle, and then there's a lovely exchange of play here. He plays the ball into Tabby. Tabby just turns it, just guides it towards Mings, and then Mings plays that low cross just from the outside of the penalty area. Falls to Murphy at the far post. He's about 8 yards out. His quick feet. He kind of dinks his foot first of all, and the defender goes a little bit, and then he just kind of guides the ball into the back of the net. 2-0.
He scored a goal very similar to that earlier in the season, didn't he? Away at Forest, perhaps even better than that when he brings it in, perhaps from a more an angle, but
comes down to right.
Uses the defender as a shield and just bends it in. Yeah, he was just on fire that season, wasn't he?
So half time is 2-0 Town. You and Pat. Where are you off to for a couple of sherbets? Are you an executive?
Probably just trying to go behind the back of the stand, get a pie or something, or maybe not, just trying to keep dry. I remember it was bloody awful. Yeah.
So you weren't in corporate then?
No corporate, mate. No.
Wow.
No corporate. No. Oh, no. No, I'm a bit actually not going with Pat. I was a bit surprised we weren't actually in the cottage, in the side bit there. But
oh yeah, up that little corner.
No, we wouldn't have fans. No.
So second half. Not a great deal happened or of anything of real interest until the 74th minute when Fulham score. Staphylidis, he's coming up. He's just crossed the halfway line. I think he's coming down the left wing. And he plays a ball into the edge of the penalty area. And Smith, as I put, just makes a hash of it. It just gets caught under his feet and suddenly falls to McCormack right near the penalty area. And he just strikes it past Bart. He reacted quickest.
what I kind of remember about that game was literally that was perhaps the only chance they'd had up till then. And it was a proper gift. And you thought, this is so us, so Ipswich. I said dominated, but they really haven't been in the game. We're 2-0 up. We could see this game and coast it out, but oh no, 15 minutes, 16 minutes to go, we concede, and it's all back to the wall. But again, perversely with this game, it wasn't. After them, we saw almost that seemed to wake us up, and we kicked on again. I seem to remember, and I can't remember Fulham threatening us greatly after that.
No, we had another chance. The ball's bouncing around the Fulham's penalty area all over the place. It eventually falls to Mings. He's about 10 yards out, and he's driven effort is somehow, I've been polite, cleared off the line. But Berra was, and a couple of other players were pretty adamant that they run around touching their hands. Come on, ref. Yeah. The ball still pings about a little bit and it falls to Berra, but there's a great save by the keeper. The only other note I've got in the half was that Hunt and Hutchison an aerial challenge. So I'm not quite sure what an aerial challenge is with Stephen Hunt, because he wasn't the tallest of players. He went off. Both sides end. Sorry.
Clash of heads.
Clash of heads. Yeah, I think it was.
So. Yeah.
Both sides ended with 10 men because all their subs have been used and with the injury. So that was a little note for me. So we ended the game 2-1. It was our 31st league game. We were fourth with 57. Just to put that into context a little bit, our 31st league game this season, we had 49 points.
Wow. Yeah. It just shows, doesn't it? It's very. I mean, the top of League One now is just so congested. It's unbelievable. I think the win yesterday, which is. Sorry, I know the time machine's in reverse at the moment, but I think the win yesterday we're like only 5 points off top. Is that right? I think 5 points behind Rotherham. Did I read somewhere? But I think that's about right. But it just got. I mean, this season was just. I know you keep banging on about it, but it was definitely a chance miss for us. This season to really kick on, and with that investment, I think perhaps we would have kicked on. I think we would have perhaps. Who knows? But we just lost our way. I think and looking at the results, I looked last night. We didn't take off the ball too much. I think we lost like 3 games between perhaps now and the end of the season. I think with some bad results. I think we lost at Brighton and Rotherham. Got to hear lost at Brighton and Rotherham. Remember drawing with Wigan at home, but I think the teams around us, certainly if you remember them up the road, really kicked on, and I think everyone around us kicked on, and we just didn't, unfortunately. Which cost us.
So we were only 2 points off the top at that point.
Mm.
And like you say, that was an opportunity miss, and they were Daryl Murphy's 20th and 21st goals, and he was the first town player to get 20 league goals since Jono in 1999-2000.
Amazing. Yeah, what a season he had. And as it didn't end there.
No, broken nose is what just come in. Yeah. Broken nose for
Murphy. Sorry, not cheek. Broken nose. Yeah, misdiagnosis.
Have you got a number one for me? I thought it might be a bit too.
I have got a number one for you. It's a fairly. I was a bit, sort of fairly. I say run of the mill number one. It's "Love Me Like You Do" by Ellie Goulding. Stat you all over that or not? Not Ellie Goulding, the song.
Definitely not the song. No.
No, didn't resonate with me at all. So stat that was sort of reasonably up to date, and now the stat machine is whizzing back in time, isn't it?
I've got the WD-40, or you can also get GT85 as another thing if you're into it. Yeah, you can. So I've sprayed that a little bit. And we're going back.
WD-40 on the elbow, GT thingy on the bike.
Yeah, have you you're not mentioning your elbow again, are you?
No. It's just casually. Yeah, just casually through it. Yeah.
Well, I hope it can withstand the fact that we're now whizzing back 45 years. It's 1974-75, 15th of February 75. Obviously, Bobby Robson's our manager, and we are entertaining Ron Saunders, Aston Villa.
Yeah.
Now, I've got quite a few questions about this game.
Go on, mate.
So this is an FA Cup 5th round tie, playing at Portman Road. We've just come off the back of a 5-2 defeat at Liverpool.
Right.
We finished 3rd that season.
Yep.
Got spanked by Liverpool 5-2 in that game.
Yep.
I'm pausing now because, well, okay, no, let's go with the game, and then I'll ask you the question after. I think it's an important question to ask.
Go on,
So
then.
let's just have a look. So Villa are in the second division, the fourth in the second division, and they're also the League Cup finalists as well.
Yeah. Again, well, I've got to give them another mention. They ultimately beat them lot up the road.
Exactly. They played in all white, which I love the kit. You can see this on YouTube.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. Subsequent years, did Villa play in them? No, I can remember them playing in their sort of traditional strip in subsequent years. I think against us, definitely. Yeah.
Maybe they were just checking because the pitch was awful.
It was very, very muddy. I think conditions were muddy for sure.
Yeah. Kitman's got some new washing tablets or whatever they had then, and just said, "Well, let's try it." They might have been filming an advert for Daz or.
I mean, that would have probably been about right that day. Absolutely filthy. Yeah, the pitch did used to churn somewhat in those days.
Let's go through the Villa side. Cumbers.
So his name is Jim. This is a bit of truth about this guy. Is Jim Coombs? It's spelled pronounced. Yeah. Jim Coombs, and he was one of those rare players.
It's not how you spell Coombs.
Well, it was Coombs. It was pronounced Coombs, not Cumbers. Coombs. And he was one of those rare players back in the day where he was, in the winter, he was a professional footballer, goalkeeper, and in the summer, he was a cricketer.
Wow.
For Worcestershire, I think. If Slower Ball listens, I'm sure Slower Ball will correct me on that. But yeah, he was so back in those days, that wasn't, was it that unusual? There were a few of them about that were pro footballers in the winter, and he was a pro cricketer, I think, for Worcestershire in the summer.
What position did he play cricket-wise? I'm not really into cricket, but I'm just interested as a keeper. Was he a wicky?
I'm not sure he was. I think he was a bowler. I'm not sure he was a wicket keeper. Yeah, I think he was a bowler.
Robson.
That's John Robson, ex-Derby, fullback.
Aitken.
That's Charlie Aitken. Yeah.
My first thought when I looked at it, I was like, blimey, Roy Aitken was around for ages.
That's Charlie Aitken, and I think he might have been at the time, or ultimately Villa's record, just about Villa's record appearance maker, but I'm not sure. I mean, he played for him for years and years since the 60s. He may have almost been playing. So when was this? 1975. He may have almost been playing in the bloody championship winning team game from 13 years before. Not sure, but close, I reckon. Well,
Ross.
Ian Ross, yeah.
Rioch.
Bruce Rioch.
Yeah. McDonald.
Steve McDonald. Yeah. Coronation Street. Yeah. Runs a taxi firm.
Yeah.
That's Bobby McDonald. Yeah. Again, played in the Man City side a few seasons after against us in the semi.
More of him later. Graydon.
Ray Graydon. Yeah.
Ray Graydon.
I think scored the winner in the subsequent League Cup final with him. Right. Yeah.
Evans.
Alan Evans, ex-Liverpool.
Oh yeah.
Was football's most expensive teenager at one point. Joined Liverpool from Wolves, I believe.
How much did he go for?
But not a lot back. So they're talking about probably 1970, 1969, maybe 70. Probably about 100,000, I think.
Leonard, or would you pronounce it Leonard?
Keith Leonard. Keith Leonard, yeah.
Hamilton.
Ian Hamilton.
Yeah, and Carradus.
Frank Carradus, that is.
Oh, just a bit tired there. Just waking up. So Frank Carradus, you say?
Frank Carradus.
Never heard of him. Let's go through this town team.
Could be Man City. Go on then. Yeah. Oh my God. Go on, Stat.
Laurie Civil in goal. Some people might be a bit surprised that this is 75. We're not mentioning Cooper.
Well, yeah, Civil was our keeper. I mean, we had Cooper. He had signed him certainly then, but no, he didn't. I'd say he didn't displace Civil till probably the next season, actually.
Yeah, and when did Richard Wright displace Cooper as your favourite goalkeeper?
Moving on, Stat. Moving
on.
Right,
okay. So we've got Burley and Mills at full back, and Hunter and Beattie in the two centre half positions. I mean, that was it.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't need anything else, do you? What more do you need?
Did Bobby even bother writing those names down at that time? It's just a given.
No, Burley Mills, Hunter Beattie, I think was just etched in, wasn't it? If they were fit and able, etched in the team. Yeah. So were the front two as well, for sure.
Oh for sure. I mean, and so we've got Brian Talbot, Colin Viljoen, Clive Woods, and Mick Lambert.
Yeah, this is unusual. You didn't often see Lambert and Woods playing in the same side. I don't think back then. So that was. I mean, so back then Lambert certainly was a more regular than Clive Woods. But yeah, maybe my memory. Who would have been missing there?
Hamilton.
Peter Morris had gone by then. Hamilton, of course. Yeah, Hamilton was on the bench, wasn't he? Yeah. Yeah. Generally, I think the team that season the first choice team would have been Hamilton in for Woods, I guess. Yeah, it would have been that season.
And Hamilton, that was his first bit. We'll come on to it. He plays a major part in this game, but it was his first appearance since Boxing Day.
Must have been. I think he picked up obviously an injury. Yeah, because he was ultimately ended up top goal scorer.
David Johnson, Mark 1, and Trevor Wymark.
I mean, great front two. Those. So Burley Mills, Hunter Beattie. Oh yeah, Talbot Viljoen, and certainly Johnson, Wymark were etched in the team there. And probably goalkeeper as well.
And what a big crowd! 31,297 turn up.
Unbelievable. I mean that was. They were the days, mate. I believe the ground record had been beaten the round before at home to Liverpool.
It had, and we're going to talk about another record in another game coming up.
I mean, and to put all this in context, this is 74-75 was ultimately was going to be beaten in the very spoiler alert along the line. 2 seasons, I think the ground, so 73, 74, 74, 75, the ground record probably went 4 times attendance record. I mean, it's sort of a bit of a measure of just how good we had become. Incredible, really.
To be fair, though, I'm pretty certain in 1975, people would say, I kind of dream of a time that we might be nearly getting 20,000 at home at Burton in the 3rd tier.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah.
Right. Point. First half, whistle stop. It's straight away is a great save by Civil from a Villa attack. One of their forwards follows it in, but a free kick's given. So it was an early chance there for Villa. The warning signs were there, I think they would say. 11th minute, fantastic pass from Villa, starting in their own half, and it's finished by McDonald. His first for Villa, who tucks it past Laurie Civil. So 11 minutes gone. There's no other action. I've got no other action for the first half. But again, the thing that I like on YouTube is that. Not the fact that Villa scored, but when Villa scored, and you look at the North Stand, that the fans are celebrating in a different position.
They're the other way round. That really messes with you. You said this before. You can't. Yeah, they're the other way round. Really good goal that, and of course the brilliant thing on YouTube for this game is the great Jerry Harrison's commentary. Of course, it was
fantastic.
Match of the week game. Remember it well. And to put this game in the context, Ipswich had never been at this stage beyond the 5th round of the cup.
Yeah. Well, fingers crossed. They've gone in at half time. Bobby's having a word with them and telling them how he wants to play. So they come out in the second half. 4 minutes later, Villa double their lead. Poor clearance from Hunter goes straight to a Villa player. He's got a floated cross.
That could be the aforementioned Frank.
Well, Frank
carried us.
Floats his cross to the far post. And it's headed back by Leonard. It comes off the post or the bar, and Evans heads in from 1 yard.
Yeah, I think this is perhaps, thinking about that goal, this is where perhaps Civil's height was exposed slightly as the ball sort of loops over him. Although, goalkeepers are giants these days. I mean, Civil was like 5 foot, I don't know what he was, 5'10" or whatever.
Yeah.
But goalkeepers just didn't seem to be giants in those days, to be fair.
Do you think there's an argument to make football more entertaining by making the goals bigger?
I thought you were going to say making the goalkeeper a maximum height. No goalkeeper over 6 feet.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, there's a little sign.
Yeah, one or t'other. Yeah, bit of both.
Or introduce 2 goals, either side. They're not as big, so they're half the size of the current goal, but they're either side of the pitch, and the keeper's got
points Gaelic football.
Yeah, could do. So we're 2-0 down. Do you remember? Obviously, you were at this game. Do you remember anything You probably thought wear my sweets. I don't know, but did you
Yeah,
think,
I
oh,
did.
we're 2-0
So
down?
I think we're 2-0 down, and thinking, oh no, it's Ipswich these days another one of these big. Although to be perfectly honest, every time a big game came along in those days, we did actually see, certainly at home, we did actually seem to win it. I give you Liverpool the round before and stuff. Record crowd. We didn't seem to blow it on the day. But no, I think you're thinking, oh god, I don't think, thinking back, yeah, they were lower. That we were, as you said in your notes, we were cup favourites at the time, I think. So thinking back, you think, yeah, we need a goal. There was sort of time enough, but it doesn't come. It's still, time drags on, and it comes after the hour, doesn't it?
Yeah, 63rd minute. It's a great pass by Colin Viljoen.
That's what he was about. What a pass that! The weight slide rule I've written here. Absolutely,
yeah, it was slide
brilliant.
rule. Yeah, he releases Lambert. He gets to the edge of the 6-yard box, and his low cross is met by Johnson, who slides it in. Was he called Jono back then? Jonty, yeah. And that's why he's got the shop.
Yeah, wonder if he still actually owns. He can't still own that after all these years, surely. But he certainly, it's great. He's maintained the name. I'd like to think he does own it. I'm sure he probably doesn't.
I think he still works in there. I think the other day, because you have to buzz yourself in, don't you? You press a button. They don't just let anybody in.
And that's always been the way. I think certainly for ever since I can remember. Yeah, it's a bit of a yeah.
And then there's the introduction of Brian Hamilton, who then turns the game on its head. 77th minute, there's a town break down the middle, and there's a lob pass by Johnson. He gets Talbot away. He tries to go around the keeper, who is Cumbes. Tries to go around Cumbes, and a little bit. I feel a little bit sorry for Brian Talbot at this point. He's done a lot of the hard work, and I think he's just about to pull the trigger, and Hamilton just comes in and just blasts the ball into the back of the net.
Wheels away like this, doesn't it? Done all the hard work, just nips in. Good goal. I say he finished top goal scorer. That's why, mate. That's why.
So we're 2-2, and the crowd must be, really up for getting the third goal, and it comes quite late. 85th minute, Lambert's got a corner. Beattie and Hunter go up for it together. Now this is where I disagree with what Jerry Harrison says, because I've watched it several times. But if you look on YouTube, and it's a little bit grainy, but he goes and Beattie with the flick. I don't think Beattie did get the flick. I think Hunter beat Beattie to it. His flick is heading towards the far post, and there's Hamilton who just kind of just nods it in, like one of those chicken things that you used to have on the desk.
Yeah. No, it's a great goal. I thought Hunter scores that goal. In my hazy memory, I thought Hunter scored that goal, but yeah.
So the corner's come across.
Yeah, I know someone gets a flick on it.
Yeah, and Hamilton's about a yard out. It's going. I think it's going wide. Yeah,
just poaches it again.
Nods it in. So
I know that was up. All I do know is that was up Churchman's. That was up Churchman's end, and there was I up Churchman's end with my pals and absolutely going mental. Probably were one of those, thinking back. Probably had a green park. You might remember this. The old-fashioned green Parker with the hood with the red sort of lining in the hood.
I know the style.
Yeah, we all had those. Yeah, standard school wear, or standard coat school. That's your coat for everything. What I'm talking about.
If you still had that, you could probably sell it for £100 on Depop or something like that, I reckon.
Probably could.
So you're right. Yeah. So we won the game 3-2. So we're into the 6th round.
Yeah.
And we are the favourites for the cup. First time we're in new territory there. Now here is the question.
Go on,
Stat. Put to you, right? We finished 3rd this season.
Yeah.
We were, I think, 2 points off the top.
Yep.
Obviously, we came back in this game to win 3-2. We then played Leeds in 4 games of football and stuff like that. Do you think we should have lost this game? If we'd have lost this game, would we have won the league?
That's a good question. Yeah, great question. Yeah, we're probably you're right. Yeah, you probably are right. And given ultimately how our cup run turns out in proper heartbreak at Stamford Bridge, yeah, because really we didn't have the squad. We really didn't have the squad then to play 4 matches and 2 matches in 3 days at 4 days, 3 days at Filbert Street. Yeah, it's a very good point, Stat. I mean, incredibly, we only then missed out on the league by 2 points. All right, Derby win it, sandwiched in, but we finished on the same number of points as obviously Liverpool, but Derby go on to win it. Obviously that had a massive
We'll
factor.
never know.
It was really odd. I put our league record here. I mean, we were home bullies in that season. But away, 1-6, drew 3, lost 12. 12 matches we lost away. Home, 1-17, drew 2, lost 2. Incredibly, I remember that as well. The game that really did us was a 1-0 defeat at home Boxing Day by Luton, who were well adrift and got relegated. That's probably the shock result of the whole division in the season. So, yeah, that's a very good point, and I'm sure you're perhaps right. That was perhaps the chance we had. But what great memories. I mean, we'd have lost this game. We wouldn't have had the Christ. It was the 38,000 crowd against Leeds and all those, the spectacle, the Woods goal at Filbert Street. And I think you're right. And don't forget the first game at Villa Park. I think Beattie limped off, didn't he? Because then Walk came into Leeds and Walk came into play in the replay. Yeah. If ever there was a game too far, games too far, you're probably right. Yeah.
Let's go back even further now.
Great number one there. Number one though.
So what we are, 1975.
Great number one is January by Pilot. I know this was February, but it was January by Pilot, which is a great song. Great song.
How's that go?
January, do 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 do. Sick and tired, you've been that one. No.
Oh, no idea. Who was it by again?
Pilot,
right? One for a pop quiz. If ever go to one. And
I mean, and this next game, there is remind me to say the number one in for this game because it is a corker.
Right. So it's 1972-73. So we're gone.
Sorry, everyone.
It's a great game. So Saturday, 17th of February, 1973. Bobby Robson's in charge, and yet again we're at home. We're entertaining Tommy Docherty's Manchester United in Division 1. It's a 3:00 kickoff. Town had lost to Chelsea in the cup 2 weeks earlier, and we hadn't had a game the week before, so I'm guessing that might have been the next cup game. And we've been sitting in 4th place since the 9th of December. So where are we heading, do you reckon, the rest of this season? With 73, we're February 73.
Yeah, so this is the first great season after Robson where, Beattie's made his debut. Oh, you can see Beattie's a teenager there, and it's a young side. He signed Johnson. He's got a really young front too, Johnson and Wymark. Hamilton's in there. Obviously, got quite a young Mick Mills skipper. Obviously, it's a good up and coming side. A lot of pace in the side with Johnson and stuff. And United very much on the wane after winning the European Cup 5 seasons before. They survived. Spoiler alert: they survived this season, but the following season they crikey get relegated. The famous Dennis Law goal at Old Trafford relegates them.
Huge crowd again. So this was a record-breaking crowd. So the previous highest crowd before was just under 31,000 in Bobby Robson's first home game in charge of Town against Manchester United.
Yeah. They were they probably still are. They were the big pull in those days. Yeah.
So there was 31,857 turned up, and I think one of the things. And I've noticed a correlation between how high the attendances were in the 70s, dependent on what colour kit the opposition wore. And again, Man United are in all white. Whenever the opposition was all white, get a big crowd.
Yeah, Leeds, Real Madrid. Yeah.
I've got the program from this game.
I remember. I don't remember the program, but I just remember that style of program so well. Go on, Stat. That was probably against Liverpool. That was probably against. Well, no, it wasn't probably. That's Alec Lindsay, isn't it? That's Liverpool. Ian Callaghan, Alec Lindsay. Who else have we got? We've got Hamilton, Johnson. Looks like Ian Callaghan, Peter Morris. Wymark is that? Oh, brilliant. Look at that. Yeah, Wymark. Bloody hell.
So, let's have a look. There was there was something in here that made me laugh. There was a few things. You got Bobby Robson's notes. Ron Ellis is going strong. You can't see that, but he's 25 years ago doing his on this day. Good thing about the team, adverts for Will Hire and the Royal Navy, but then there was a little thing in here about the Portman, and it's actually said it's called Portman Stand. Complaints have been received that ticket holders are once again congesting the stairways in the Portman Stand 5 to 10 minutes before the end of the matches.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it cannot be stressed too strongly that this practice could lead to possible accidents apart from the nuisance. I like that bit. The nuisance caused to other spectators, and it is requested that people
Yeah.
wishing to leave their seats before the end of the match should not stand on top of the gangways.
No, of course, this was, I think, a throwback to obviously what happened at Ibrox a couple of seasons before. I think that's why they posted that. And think about it. Put it into, it's all relevant. 31,000 in the ground, and people leaving, blocking the gangways, and that's exactly what happened at Ibrox. And then I think a goal is scored, and everyone rushes back, and it's well, we all know what happens. So.
Did they have the yellow paint on the gangways like they've got now?
Probably not. No.
That would have been helpful.
No.
They've got they've got the other bit in the magazine, which is the league football pullout. So it's like a magazine.
I remember this. I can remember that picture. Oh my God. Yeah.
So I'm not going to read the post bag because it's not relevant. Covered
one of my school books. I probably had that on the front of one of my school books, I think. This was one of the first games I can remember going to. How old was I? Hang on, 72. So I was 10 probably. Yeah, I was allowed to go to on my own with my pals, and again, had a very similar stood in a very similar place up in Churchman's, as to the Villa game a couple of seasons later. Exactly. Oh my God. Brilliant.
After the game, did you kick off a good evening by heading to the Sport and Farmer?
No, probably not. Probably kicked off a good evening by getting some sweets from the Top Shop on the way home. Probably.
Well, I think that
Hawthorne Drive probably not even open there back then on a Saturday afternoon.
I think you probably went to the Gaumont or the Odeon.
Oh, come on!
So the Gaumont was Young Winston.
Oh yeah, Young Winston. Yeah.
That was
There's normally a second screen at the Gaumont showing some dodgy soft porn, surely. No? Oh.
The Odeon there might be.
Oh, hello.
So they had Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Oh wow!
Which I'm assuming was an
not soft.
Yeah. The Dirty Heroes.
Oh, not sure about that one. Yeah.
The Mechanic. That was a double A.
Oh yeah. So parental guidance. Yeah.
Impasse. And there was an X called She Loved to Be Bad. Sounds like a horror.
That could be anything, couldn't it? Yeah.
Then did you go to the Greyhound Stadium after?
Sadly not. A bit young in those days. I had evenings at the Greyhound Stadium when I was a little bit older, quite a bit older, but no, not in those days.
8 thrilling 6-dog races over 300, 500 and 700 yards.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Photo finish, photo timing, multi-speed wonder tote, treble events, pools, all amenities, and then grey-green coaches. Yeah, they were in town somewhere.
Grey-green coaches were around by St Margaret's around now. I think it's now a car wash.
And there was you could visit the Cardinal Room at the Royal George Hotel.
Oh, hello. Yeah,
kind of over there. If you wanted for
over there. Yeah. Well, good to know that's still going strong after all these years.
And I'm not sure about the Rainbow Grill in Tackett Street.
No, don't recall
this
that
thing.
one.
I don't know how you can see they had little
Is that the Lucky program?
Yeah.
I assume it's the Lucky program.
Yeah.
I remember these programs so well. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Mick Martin, number 11 on the team. So players that didn't make. Let's go through the team.
Yeah,
let's go through the team. So we had Stepney in goal.
Yep, Alex Stepney. Yeah.
Forsyth.
Tommy Forsyth, is that Bruce?
Did he have a good game? Good game.
Good game.
Dunn.
That's Tony Dunn.
Tony Dunn.
That's Alex. Actually, it's Alex Forsyth. I think is the right back. Yeah. The second on the sheet. Yeah.
Yeah. Holton.
Jim Holton.
Jim
Holton. Scottish centre half.
Buchan.
Obviously Martin Buchan.
Yeah. Graham.
Yeah, I saw that name. That threw me a bit. Don't know.
Shall I tell you who it is?
Go on. Who is it?
Well, it might not be the same guy. George Graham.
Of course it's George Graham. Of course it is. No, you're right. No, it is George Graham. Yeah.
The George Graham, yeah?
The George Graham. Sorry. Yes, of course it is. Yeah.
Martin.
Threw me that. I was thinking of like Arthur Graham that was years, another 10, 15 years. Of course it's George Graham. Mick Martin, yeah.
McDougall.
Ted McDougall.
Apologies for my notes of calling him an MC Dougal, and not as in a rapper, but he should be MAC Dougal. Mac Dougal. Yeah. Charlton.
Bobby Charlton. Yeah.
Did he do much in the game or?
Not really, did he? I don't think. No, I don't know.
What do you think of these names?
That much. Crazy,
Bobby Charlton with Macari.
Yeah. Lou Macari, yeah.
And Brian Kidd.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, under Tommy Docherty, that was when George Best went AWOL under Docherty.
I mean, when you say AWOL...
Well, but yeah, basically, AWOL, I think, basically just didn't... just walked away from the game pretty much, didn't he? Under Docherty. Yeah. So you got to add him into that. I think he was certainly he was a United player then. But yeah, a bit off the rails probably.
The only player on the back of the programme that wasn't in the team was should look this before, Willie Morgan.
Oh yeah, Willie Morgan, yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. He didn't make the team. Right. Town's team, so it was debut for Glenn Keely.
Yeah. Bloody hell.
So he was a centre half with Beattie. So he had two teenagers.
Keely's in for Hunter. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got Best in goal, Mills, and maybe that's where George Best went. He was AWOL. He became our keeper.
Yeah, I think we were perhaps one short, and so we'll have George. We'll stick him in goal line.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't want to take too much of an advantage. I used to hate that when you'd be down the park and they'd suddenly be like, "Oh, can we have you?" And we'd be trying to switch players and stuff like that. You'd always try and get the best one. So Mick Mills and Colin Harper, Keely and Beattie, like I say, teenage centre halves. Then you had Morris, Hamilton, Lambert, Viljoen, Johnson, and Wymark again. So Johnson and Wymark were a bit of a fixture for Town for a...
Yeah, I mean, this was the first season. So he got rid of Robson, had traded Rob Belfit for, great bit of business, Rob Belfit for David Johnson, probably the previous, November, I think. Yeah, late October, November, same season. So November 72. And that's when Johnson and Wymark formed that partnership. I think they played certainly... so well thought I played together at England under 23s and stuff like that. A really, really good partnership.
So let's go straight into...
Johnson was quick, really quick. Yeah.
So when he left us, he went to Liverpool.
Yeah.
Did he ever go back to Everton? Or am
I? Yes, I'm sure he did. Yeah.
Yeah, no, great. And is there a John T in Liverpool at all? Did he?
No, I'd have to put it out there.
Yeah. Whether there was a chain of John T's around. Of John
T's, I'm not sure there was.
First half, 3rd minute, Town got a corner. They had a corner. That was... I told you it was too early. Had a corner. Lambert's header comes off the bar, and Brian Hamilton again is on the line to put Town 1-0 up after 3 minutes.
Poached goals, Hamilton, didn't he?
He's got a great record. I think the only thing is that he made 199 appearances for us, and I kind of think should have let him have the 200.
Yeah, shame.
Yeah, they do that now in modern football. They certainly didn't do it back in the 70s, but they just said, "I'll let him play another game just so he can get his."
I saw 200. I saw his debut or around about. He joined the season before 71, 72. I think I probably saw certainly his first home game. I think he joined the season. The new stand, call it the new stand. The Portman stand was first opened. Yeah, which was the new stand then they called it. Yeah. But prolific, yeah, he was top goal scorer for certainly 2 or 3 seasons, wasn't he?
Yeah, he certainly was. 29th minute, Colin Harper flying header from a corner, his first league goal of the season.
And again, just to summarise this, one of the early games that Town were on, obviously the main game on Match of the Day, so big exposure. This is the first successful season under Robson, as we said. So a lot more exposure. And I remember this being the main game on Match of the Day, which for Ipswich was, oh my God, brilliant. And such a great win as well. So that's just further cemented our reputation, really.
2-0 at half time. Second half, we're 8 minutes into the second half. 53rd minute is a free kick from Mills. It's floated in. It's a poor defensive header from whoever it was in the United defence, and Hamilton controls it on the outside of the box, and he hits a half volley, and Alex Stepney should have done better.
Should do better. It was a good hit, but he should do better, shouldn't he?
That sort of he's down on the ground. He's dived to his left, and he's got his hands to it, and it's just squirmed.
Yeah,
squirmed over the line.
Gone down in instalments, hasn't he?
Yeah, it got one of my favourite. I don't know if people even understand that phrase now, but I do like that one. 59th minute, a goal back for United. Forsyth, he's having a good game. He's got a search and ball into the town penalty area, and Best hesitates. He gets in a bit of a mix-up with Beattie here.
He does, yeah.
And Macari pounces, and he was a great forward. And there's two defenders on the line, and he just sort of slots it past them.
Yeah.
3-1. I'm guessing you have no recollection of whether you thought, that it's back on now. They're gonna
just a bit, bit. I mean, Man U were not we're not. I think they only just escaped relegation that season. I want to say they probably finished around about 17th, 18th that season. So they were no strong, not a strong side. So you almost go in there expecting, it's Man United, but you expected to beat them. So probably not actually.
They were 21st at that time. United were in the league.
Oh my God! So they must have picked up a bit, yeah.
And then 74th minute, Town get a penalty, and I've never seen such a blatant handball, apart from Christophe Berra when he was in the playoffs against Norwich. But Buchan above his head, like he tips it over the bar. No red card, but just
no double jeopardy or anything in those days. No. Probably not. Probably not even a booking. Probably penalty was retribution enough. Probably.
So full time, as it used to be in the 70s, you'd quite often hear Ipswich Town 4, Manchester United 1. It was our 29th league game. We were 4th. United were 21st. We had 38 points. Now, I noticed when I was looking at this that this was the last season that only 2 teams were relegated from Division 1.
Yeah, saw that. I don't know I assume just to create a bit more interest, really, because obviously it was just a case of 2 up, and just this season 3 up, 3 down. So still 42 games played. I assume just to create a bit more interest. I can't actually recall that. And
being an Ipswich fan in 2020, I'm glad that they've kind of increased the positions where you could possibly go up from 1 to 6, because it keeps the season going.
I mean, that's what they do. Bit of triv about Glenn Keely. Glenn Keely ultimately, I think, left Ipswich for Newcastle, then subsequently went on to Everton. And I believe made his debut. Well, I think it was his debut in the famous 5-0 thrashing by Liverpool at Goodison when Rush was just Christ. If Rush had been in our side yesterday, we might have scored 10 actually. Where Rush scores 4. You must have seen that game.
Yeah.
And famously, I think it's his debut, and he gets sent off. He pulls down actually Dalglish. So there was a lot more punishable in those days, and he gets sent off at Goodison, and subsequently, I don't think he played many more times for Everton. I might be wrong, but I think he didn't play that much for Ipswich, did he? Obviously, with Hunter there, and
exactly.
Obviously John Penalty coming through, Dale Roberts and stuff. I think he wasn't quite so.
But what a great debut for him, and what was he singing on the way home in his car? What was the number one?
Mate, what a number one! That's it. He was singing number one. He was bellowing out "Blockbuster" by Sweet. What a song that is! Dun 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 dun. Dun,
oh, I know the one though. Yeah,
that one.
Wasn't that for? Was that a cereal advert or something?
It must have been an advert. But what a tune!
Loads.
What a tune! What a tune! Well, and last but not least. Again, we're whizzing forward a few years. Approximately 25 years, are we? 20 something years.
Yeah, let's go with 20 something years. It's too early
years.
to work.
I can't do the math.
18th of February 1998. So before the Millennium Bug and all that kicked in and ruined our everything. Yeah. George Burley was in charge of Town, obviously, and we were travelling off to Main Road, which is, for those fans, probably didn't realise that Manchester City used to play at another ground before, Main Road. It was a Division 1 times, kick-off, 7:45, and there was a bit of a buzz around Main Road because they were welcoming their new manager.
Oh yes, this is incredible. Yeah, I didn't actually realise this.
Yeah, so it was Joe Royle's first game in charge of City, and before we go through there, obviously a few people have kind of heard that and thought, hang on, is that? Yeah, so when he was at Man City, his first game was in charge, and his last game against...
Amazing. What, 4 seasons later? Yeah.
Let's go. So we'd just beaten Huddersfield 5-1 on the Saturday.
Yep.
We're in that. Was that little? No, it wasn't that run of. It was that run of 5. Remember what you said? There were 5-5-0s. Let's skip over
I
that.
said there was 3-5-0s. We know it was subsequently against 5-2 against Oxford. I think I just had 5-0 because Norwich. It's on the brain.
In that Huddersfield game when we won 5-1 the Saturday before, the first goal scorer in that game was Marcus Stewart.
See, it's been lovely, and its stats coming out left, right, and centre.
And obviously, Burley thought I'm going to have him, and so a little bit later,
I'm going to bide my time though, but I will get him.
Very disappointing if you look at Man City. We were talking earlier about some of the crowds town were getting 31, 34, 38,000. There was a 27,000 there at Main Road. But I guess now that they would just change that figure and add another 1 onto it or stuff like that. Let's go through. Should we go through the City's team?
Yeah.
Wright. Now I know that Richard Wright had kind of had a few spells, but that was Tommy Wright.
This immediately leaps out of me. Stat. Any other than George Best in goal for Man U and David Best for us? Yeah. I know it was the other way round, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Any other instances of this? Same position, same name.
When I saw that, my tail wagged a little bit, and I thought, goalkeepers with the same surname. And apparently, that just to avoid confusion, because a referee back in the late 90s, referees were on top of everything. To avoid any confusion, he got the 2 goalies over and he wrote an R on the back of Richard Wright just to say if there was anything going on. So, Tommy Wright in goal for Man City, and some interesting names, and we'll save we'll get to the final 3. But so we've got Richard Edgehill.
Edgehill, yeah. I don't know this guy's name.
Well, I think his name starts off with like a tut, isn't it? Though.
Tuskadze. Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not a commentator.
No, I mean, no,
look, he's popped up again. He popped
up. Yeah, mate, look at this symmetry.
Kit Simons. Yeah. Now there's 2, and you're going to probably tell me that you always pull my leg a little bit about this, but you're probably going to tell me that Jim Whitley and Whiteley or Whitley and Jeff Whitley were brothers.
I think they probably were, Stat. Yeah, I think they probably were.
Who was the player in between them, Dave? Sheila.
I'm thinking you've put that because of your association with, I don't know, some of the players at the time. I think was that not what Tony Vaughan was known at by? No, I don't know. That's why I thought you put it.
No, Sheila. If the book was around here, I can't see what I've done.
No, hang on. I'm getting mine. Wait a minute. Sheila.
Yeah, so you got to go to the 18th.
I thought that was perhaps some nickname that you, with your association with
No, not with it.
Used to call Tony Vaughan or something. Hang on, I've got my book. What's it?
18th of February 98. Yeah.
18th of February 98.
For everybody who's not watching on YouTube, Dave is now going through his book. Have a look. Yeah. I'm sure it says Sheila.
You're right. You're right. It is Sheila. It is Sheila. Well, there you go.
It's truth. So we've got and Russell. That must have been Craig Russell. Yeah. And now, if you can go through these 3 players here.
Never would have called this next one. Don't even remember this.
Peter Beardsley.
Peter Beardsley.
Georgie Kincladze. And Uwe Rosler. Why not did they only have 27,000 there with those 3? Yeah.
I'd put 5,000 on the gate just to go and see Kincladze. My God, that's obviously a very aging Peter Beardsley, but my God, yeah.
One of the best players I would say that I've seen live was Kincladze, definitely. I mean, at his peak,
he just all you know what he's going. Well, sort of knew what he's going to do. He's all left foot. Yeah. And you knew he was going to drop his shoulder, but seemingly defend. He's one of those players where he'd get the ball, drop his shoulder, and the defender would just fall over. It's just unbelievable. That goal he scored against Southampton was ridiculous, wasn't it?
Fantastic. Let's go through the...
I look through this team stat. What a team this is. Oh, my God.
So we've got, I got to just check. So they had Tommy Wright. So we must have Richard Wright in goal for us. Fullbacks, Mickey Stockwell and Tarico. Tony Mowbray and Jason Cundy as the 2 centre halves.
Solid. Don't talk about a central midfield too. Don't. No.
Okay, so the wingers we had was Gus Ullenbeek, who kind of stands out a little bit in this team, really, I think.
Yeah.
And Jamie Clapham, I'm
Yeah.
guessing on the left.
Yeah.
And like you say, the I don't know what you want to call them, two Holden midfielders. I don't know, the workmen, workhorses, Matt Holland and Kieran Dyer. Unbelievable.
Oh, stop it. Yeah.
And it gets even better with David Johnson, who's been playing for 47 years now for Town.
Yeah.
And he's up front with Alex Matthey.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, Matthey. Look at that, Matthey up front, and who just hang on. Where are we? Wednesday. Just obviously just come off the back of his hat trick against or just about to score it, or just come on the back of his hat trick. No, Norwich next. Sorry.
Yeah, 21st. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a Wednesday. We played Norwich on the
of course, he probably
Saturday.
He probably, if it had been after, he probably wouldn't have been playing because he went off at half time with he tweaked his style or something, didn't he? Went off at half time.
Do you realise that? I think that when we played Norwich in '98, and we might have said this because I think today or tomorrow's a year since the Blue Monday live.
Yeah. I said I posted something yesterday. I thought it was a year ago this weekend.
Yeah. But I think that was the last time that we played Norwich on a Saturday at 3:00. But back to this game at Main Road.
Yeah, I bet you're right. Yeah.
So we were talking about that. We missed it. An early goal for City. Header from Craig Russell's corner. Kit Simons puts it in. And at half-time, it's 1-0. As you can see, as the notes were going, I was just... the notes were becoming a bit more limited.
Lost the will. Yeah.
So let's rush straight to the second half, where I've put super sub Bobby Petr. His introduction changes the game. And just to let you know, he's on Twitter and he's turned himself into a DJ.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you have a lot of bits of him, unless he's doing history pods, but he's got headphones on and stuff. And is
she back in Holland?
He's
mixing the Netherlands.
I think he's mixing the decks in. I don't know where he is. I'll have to have a look later.
He's not still up in Glasgow.
No, that would be. He was a great player. I like
Petr.
I liked him. Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
was that a Sean Connery impression of Bobby Petr up in Scotland?
Yeah,
I don't.
Bit of both.
I like that. Yeah, anyway. 83rd minute, so it's a late show at Main Road. Petter's on the right wing attacking. He cuts in and his left-footed cross. It's one of those ones where Matthew goes up for it on about the 6-yard box in the 6-yard box, doesn't touch anything. Tommy Wright is kind of he's distracted by is Matthew going to get
one of them, yeah.
And it goes in. I put whose goal mainly because when you look at the TV footage, Matthew runs around like nobody's business, thinking he's celebrating. He never touched it. It was Bobby Petter's goal, and I think at that point everybody who was there was thinking, well, we'll take a point, but we realised that we were up against Joe Royle, and his team probably was still going to be pushing forward. So we waited until the 90th minute. Tariko, he's on the edge of the penalty area, plays a lovely 1-2 with Petr.
Brilliant.
And the Dutchman's driven cross is forced in by Kieran Dyer.
Celebrates, fair to say, celebrates wildly, doesn't he? It's brilliant. Yeah, what great.
Candy stripe.
Candy
stripe kit.
Yeah.
So the full score was final score was City 1, Town 2. It was the 31st league game. We were in 10th place that season at that point.
We were kind of on a good run, weren't we? Because I checked this out. So you said unbeaten or only one more defeat in the last 15, which I believe was a Van Hooijdonk goal.
That was,
Forest, I believe.
James, as they used to call him.
Quite consistent finish actually. 1-12, drew 2, lost 1.
Do you think we need that this season?
Yes, I think we do. Something similar. So last 13, something similar would probably get us over the line top 2.
So a once in a generation end to the season is what we need. So if you got a number 1 from '98,
I have. I think you might like this stat. I think this might be in your era. It's Aqua and Dr. Jonge. Dr. Jonge by
Dr.
Aqua.
Yeah,
I can see Bobby mixing it right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna search for that. I mean, I like searching for things on Twitter and what people have said. It's all I do all day. So I'm gonna look to see if Bobby Petr has mixed in Dr. Jones with
Blockbuster by Sweet.
Renegade Master by Wild Child. That was 1998. Yeah, so it could be that.
Go. Yeah.
Let's have a look at some
birthdays.
Let's finish off with some birthdays. Yeah. There's a few on the list, but I'm gonna pick out Ivan Campo. Ivan Campo will be 46. And let's play a game of Does Ivan Campo look like he's 10 years older than Jay Tab, who'll be 36 next week as well?
Does he look like he's 10 years older? Oh God, I've got what Campo looked like. Probably not, because he was probably about 40 when we, when he was here, wasn't he? Perhaps a little bit older.
Yeah, he's almost the same. Campo's almost the same age. Well, I'm not quite sure what day Gary Croft's born, but they're both 46 this week.
Yeah, Crofty. Yeah. Yeah.
Any names jump out to you in the list?
Mitch DeVray, of course.
Yeah.
He was part of
58.
Part of that. Same age as me. Yeah, or just about. Yeah, of that 80-81 squad. Who else still? Oh, Caden Jackson. Well, he 2 goals on his birthday. Should have had a hat trick, Caden, probably. But hey,
26. Yeah.
Let's be greedy.
And former manager John Duncan will be 71.
71. Jason Scotland there. Only 41. Jason Scotland. Blimey. He seems old. And Alan Armstrong, he was a good player, wasn't he? Armstrong
he was.
Yeah.
Do you think Jason Scotland's got to that age where 41 is about the same size as his waist size now?
But he's probably caught up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, fantastic, mate.
I want to call him a Russian just because I know that it triggers some people. But obviously, Sergei was the first Russian to play in English football. And now people will then kind of write in and say, well, actually, he was Ukrainian or stuff. But at the time, you had the Soviet Union and the USSR.
It was much more clear-cut in those days, wasn't it?
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple, guys. Yeah. Keep it simple. Stat, enjoyed that, mate, as ever. Should add, this is part of the Blue Monday network of podcasts. So let me see, podcast-wise. Oh, I think I might be doing another one later. The flagship show, going over yesterday's game with Rich, I think, and Joe. And then there no doubt will be a midweek show, but I can't recall who's on it this week. Previewing the Oxford next up. I should know this. Is it Oxford next?
Yeah,
lost track.
We've got Oxford next.
All the excitement of the history, show.
And what we should do is do another one of these fairly soon.
We should. Absolutely.
Yeah, I will ping you over a list, and we'll do another one. It's been good.
Enjoyed that. And again, our thoughts at the one of our really long-term listeners of the history pod. Our thoughts go out to Jules. I know we mentioned Jules Hughes on the flagship show a couple of weeks ago, but thoughts are with you, mate. I know you're going through
thinking about you, Jules.
Yeah, we are. Stat, where can you be found on the old social media, Gubbins?
Basically, you can find me. I've just got people on strings, so that's where it is.
Well, Twitter at Chompex3.
Chompex3, yeah, and a number of people do tend to find me, so they can, yeah. And what about you?
You can find me at David Diamond 3. Unlike yourself, I don't. Oh, hello, that's good timing. I don't try and attract too much controversy.
Whose phone is that?
That's my main one here. So, Stat, I better go and answer that. Speak to you soon, mate. All the best.
Yeah. Cheers. Thanks, everyone.
Bye. Cheers.
Bye.